Good evening and welcome to Pakistan Today News from our New York studio. I'm Chris Taylor. We begin in Islamabad, where an anti-terrorism court has delivered a major verdict in a high-profile digital terrorism case. On Friday, ATC Judge Tahir Abbas Sipra sentenced Adil Raja and several others to 2 consecutive life terms, each for attacks against state institutions. The convicts include Adil Raja, Haider Mehdi, Wajahat Saeed Khan, Sabir Shakir, and Moeed Pirzada. In addition to the life sentences, the court handed down further prison terms totaling 35 years and imposed fines amounting to 1.5 million rupees for related offenses. Prosecutors presented testimony from 24 witnesses, and the trial continued under anti-terror laws even in the absence of the accused. Turning now to the federal government, the federal cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has ratified a series of key economic and legislative decisions aimed at reinforcing Pakistan's reform agenda and stabilizing the economy. The cabinet approved recommendations from both the Cabinet Committee on Legislative Affairs and the Economic Coordination Committee. Among the measures are relief on electricity distributors' levies for off-grid power plants and amendments to the Islamabad Capital Territory local government law. Prime Minister Sharif highlighted the 75% privatization of Pakistan International Airlines as a major success, pointed to positive GDP growth, and said Pakistan is steadily emerging from economic crisis. He also emphasized expanding regional partnerships, particularly with the UAE and Saudi Arabia, to sustain economic recovery. Staying with PIA, renowned businessman Rafiq Habib has outlined his vision following the acquisition of a 75% stake in the national carrier. For more on this, we go live to Karachi. Our correspondent Clara Bennett is standing by.
Rafiq Habib told media here that employee retention at PIA will be strictly performance-based as the airline shifts its focus toward profitability. He assured workers that jobs are secure, but stressed that only those who perform will remain with the airline. Habib also clarified that under the acquisition agreement, the airline's name cannot be changed. He emphasized PIA's importance for overseas Pakistanis and for Hajj and Umrah travel, adding that his consortium aims to make PIA the preferred airline for Pakistani travelers.
Thank you, Clara, for that update from Karachi. Now to the United States, where President Donald Trump has announced the withdrawal of National Guard troops from Chicago, Los Angeles, and Portland. The decision follows a series of legal setbacks, including a U.S. Supreme Court refusal to allow the deployment in Chicago and lower court rulings that limited Guard operations in Portland and Los Angeles. As a result, most troops had already been pulled back. In social media posts, President Trump claimed the Guard's presence helped reduce crime and warned they could return in a stronger form if crime rises again. Local and state leaders, however, welcomed the court decisions, saying they upheld constitutional limits on federal troop deployments. In regional diplomacy, Pakistan's Foreign Office has reiterated its firm support for China's stance on Taiwan. Foreign Office spokesperson Tahir Andrabi said Islamabad considers Taiwan an inalienable part of China and will continue to adhere to the One China principle. The statement comes amid recent Chinese military drills around the Taiwan Strait that have heightened regional tensions. While the United States has criticized Beijing's actions and urged restraint, Pakistan's position underscores what it describes as its ironclad strategic partnership with China. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump has warned that Washington may intervene in Iran if authorities violently suppress ongoing peaceful protests. In a social media post, Trump said the United States is locked and loaded and ready to go to protect demonstrators. The remarks come as Iran faces its largest protests in years over economic hardship, with reports of deadly clashes in some provinces. Iranian officials have cautioned against foreign interference, warning it could further destabilize the region. And finally, in sports, Australia's veteran batter Usman Khawaja has announced his retirement from international cricket following the final Ashes test against England. The 39-year-old is set to conclude a 15-year career that could see him play his 88th and final test in Sydney. Khawaja, Australia's first Muslim and Pakistan-born test cricketer, reflected on his journey and the racial stereotyping he faced along the way. With more than 6,200 test runs and 16 centuries, he leaves behind a legacy both on and off the field, including his work supporting underprivileged youth. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today News. I'm Chris Taylor.